Hello, relatives. Welcome to this Schlagbet for October 7th, 2020, entitled Amalia's Light in My Tunnel. Last week's presidential debate was such a repugnant display, I felt assaulted and turned it off after 5 minutes. Trump has hijacked the American narrative. There was a time that this nation saw itself as a beacon to the world. We are no longer that. We are governed by untruths, misinformation, and never by transparency. Where racism is not denounced and hostile confrontations escalate, I went to bed depressed. The next morning, I got an email from a young German woman whom I hadn't seen in 16 years, and it lifted me up. Amalia, now 21 years old, is the daughter of the jungler who I met about 40 years ago. He was performing in a public park, juggling apples and grapefruits while riding a unicycle, and he had a great comedic rap. He said something that made me look again at my preconceptions and rage toward Germans, and it had a profound impact on my life. I've written and spoken about it. I was telling this story years later at a workshop I was conducting in Germany, and afterwards one of the participants asked me if I knew the name of the juggler, and I said I had no idea. And she said that my description of him sounded familiar and that she might be able to find out. I said I would love to speak with him and let me know if she found him. And indeed she did. And got in touch with me and said that sadly he had died just several years ago. But if I wanted to meet his wife and daughters, she might be able to arrange it. When I returned the following year, I met with his wife Anne and with Amalia, who was then 5, and Cecilia, who was 3. We spent a delightful afternoon together, learned about him, their family, and told them my own story about how their husband and father had moved me on my path from doctor to healer. We exchanged addresses and then lost touch until Amalia's email arrived, which was written in excellent English. She said, I don't really know what to say, but for some reason I had to contact you. I am the daughter of Holger Ernst, the German juggler you wrote about in your book. I've just graduated gymnasium, high school, and will go to the university soon. But I've had a little time on my hands now and finally got to read Kindling Spirit. It moved me to read about my father. Makes me happy that he had such an impact on you, and sad that I didn't get to know him. I do remember the time we met at the restaurant because you said to Cecilia and me that we could order everything on the menu. I've never forgotten. Maybe we could speak when you come to Germany again. I wrote back to her, congratulating her on our graduation, thanking her for reaching out to me, and that she lifted my spirit in these dark times. But that the likelihood of my coming back to Germany was small because I was facing my own health issues, but that I would love to talk to her and see the light in each other's eyes when we talked about her father. I thanked her for bringing me back from that depressing Trump narrative, which is escalating America's divisiveness, and that she restored my faith that as a citizenry, that we could find our way to hearing each other better, that we could suspend our preconceptions and judgmentalism and build relationships that allow us to see in one another something that reminds us of our best selves. I thanked her for showing me a light at the end of my dark tunnel. I say thank you to Amalia and to all of you who surround me with hope that in each other we can dare to imagine that we can become what we imagine we might be and fulfill our destiny, our best selves. Peace on the journey, light in these dark times. I send my blessings and say this for all my relations. Mitakwiyasi.